Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Now in today's video, I will be sharing something that I personally think is going to be not a very good news for many international students and their dependents who are planning to come and study in the UK. All of this news has been officially declared as of 23rd of May, and I just feel like I know people have been commenting saying, Nikita, you only give bad news, but what I honestly try to do is just give you guys facts and then let you make a decision about whether you would want to come to the UK or no. So, obviously, if you are interested in studying in the UK, working in the UK as a healthcare professional, or are even planning to join your spouse who is in the UK right now, I would definitely recommend you watch this video all the way to the end and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below because I'm really waiting to see what you guys have to think about it. Would you still choose to come to the UK, or would you be interested in going to another country? And that could be US, Canada, or even Australia. But yeah, let me know in the comments because it will be really interesting to hear from you guys as well. Okay, so let's just start with the 5 updates that the UK government has shared with us on the 23rd of June. So, the first massive update, which I think is going to affect many of you all out there, is that the UK government has now banned students from getting their dependents unless they come for a research program for 3 years, which could potentially be your PhD programs. So, as per the rules that were existing from all of the past few years, if you come for an undergraduate that is a bachelor's program in the UK, you would not be allowed to get your dependents, and it was pretty straightforward. But right now, as of 23rd of May, the UK government has decided that even if you had to study a master's program, you would not be allowed to get your family members or your dependents to the UK. So this means that not only their bachelors but even students who are planning to come for their masters into the UK cannot get their spouse or their children. Only students of PhD programs for 3 years or more will be eligible to get their dependents along with them on a valid visa. So let's just come to the direct question that I know is running in many of your minds, saying when will this rule start? So Swella Breverman has clearly stated in her update on the 23rd of May that this is going to be in effect from Jan 2024. So if you are planning to apply for any courses from there onwards, this rule is going to be impacted on you. However, this is the bit of silver lining. The UK government has said that this is a sort of temporary measure, so it's not very sure whether this will continue in the long run. It's sort of more as a pilot project to see if this can be used until they finalize a better plan, because they would like students to get dependents, but only those who are the best and the brightest for the UK's economy. So, this was update number 1, guys. Now, I think before I move ahead, I just want to clarify that if you are somebody who's watching this channel and are considering to get a dependent on a work visa or the health and care worker visa, you do not need to be worried because this rule is only applicable to students on bachelor's and master's degree programs. So, if you are planning to get your dependent on a work visa or a health and care worker visa, then that's absolutely fine. Your dependent can come on a dependent visa for those work visas. Now, the second update that I want to share with you guys, and this is something that comes out a lot, is obviously many students take the help of agencies to apply for their university programs, whether it's master's or bachelor's programs. And the UK government is going to come crashing down on this because they have clearly said that they are going to take very strict action against agents who are promoting dishonest work, either by altering the applications that students make or trying to get students into universities who have lower scores and who might possibly not get in. Now, again, this comes as a very well accepted rule because if you potentially think about it, there are a lot of these agents who would scam people and who would conduct several frauds and may even take money from vulnerable students to get themselves into the UK, but potentially these students would not be able to cope up with the courses. So I think this rule is quite good, but do let me know in the comments what your thoughts are about it. But you would say, Nikita, what is the way around this now? I think the answer is fairly simple. If you are looking to study in the UK, I would suggest 2 things for you. The first thing would be try and apply for a course by yourself. It's fairly easy. The process is straightforward. You will get all of the information that you need on the internet these days. Just type the name of the university, type the course that you want to go for, and you will get all of that information. If you still have further questions, like many of us obviously do, please contact universities. The universities in the UK are really helpful, and they will help to solve all of your doubts if you send them a nice, kind email with your questions in it. Now, the second recommendation that I have for you at this point is, obviously, if you are still concerned about probably not feeling confident in making that application for the university by yourself, you can obviously think about booking a one-to-one session with me, because obviously that will help you to decide which university you should pick and how you should make that application. And I will also help you with your personal statement. So do let me know if you want to book a one-to-one session with me, and I'll leave the link for that in the description below. But what I actually wanted to say was that, obviously, if you are still not confident enough, you can take the help of agents if you really want to, but just make sure that they are reputed, well known agents who are potentially not going to be fake or fraudsters, because then your application or your immediate conditional or unconditional offer letter might be under threat if the agent that they have identified to be a fraudster is in fact your agent. So do keep this in mind when you are choosing your agents to apply for universities in the UK, either in September 23's intake or Jan 24's intake. Now, coming down to the third update, which I think is going to be a fabulous news for all of you, because this is potentially the only good news I have to share with you. And that is that the PSW is not shutting down. Swella Braverman has clearly said that she would continue with the PSW for the next few years. We don't know what is few, so I'm not going to comment on it, guys. But yes, if you are planning to come into the UK on September 2023's intake or Jan 2024's intake, hopefully, fingers crossed, your PSW will still be intact. So you will be able to look for work even after you've completed your degrees for about 2 years, and potentially land a job for yourself within that 2 years. So that's the good news, guys, and I hope you've liked this news. And if you did, don't forget to give a like to this video just to show me how much you've liked this news. Fantastic. Now, coming down to the fourth update, which I think is going to affect many students, just because I know many of you all have been reaching out to me about this. So the fourth update is that if you are a student and you've come into the UK, you will not be allowed to switch to a work visa unless you have completed the course or the degree that you have come in to study for. For example, let's just take the example of, suppose, me coming in to do a master's program for 1 year, and even before I complete the degree, I actually go on to switch onto a carer visa, which will then sort of start the clock for me to get my ILR or the UKPR in 5 years time. Now that would obviously work out well for me, because it's obviously cheaper than going in for potentially the PSW and then the work visa at a later stage. But what this is actually doing is that it's ensuring that children or students do not complete their degrees in the UK, and the UK is not very pleased about this. So this has been a real sort of concern for the UK government, and hence they've taken this step, which suggests that students need to complete their degree before they move on to a job and get a work visa. Now, also this applies to the health and care worker visa for those of you guys out there who are planning to sort of come into the UK either as a healthcare professional through a student route, so coming to study for a 1-year program, whether it's masters in public health or anything else, and then want to switch over into a healthcare profession. This rule applies to you. Now, again, another question that many of you guys have is, Nikita, how do I get the health and care worker visa? The answer to that is simple. You can get a health and care worker visa once you've made your HCPC applications, applied for a job, and have been selected for a role where the employer is ready to sponsor your work visa in the UK. Do you have questions about any of these? Don't worry, I got you covered. You can watch these 2 playlists right here, where these give you more information. But if you feel that you need further guidance, do not forget to book a one-to-one session with me, because I can offer you help not only with your HCPC application, but also with your NHS job profiles, and potentially also with your NHS interviews. So yes, do book a session if you need it, guys. And coming down to point number 5, or update number 5 from the UK government. So the UK government has said that as of 2023 September, it is going to potentially look at increasing the proof of funds that students would need to demonstrate that they are able to manage their expenses for themselves and their dependents in the UK. Now, unfortunately, I don't know what is the percentage by which this is potentially going to increase, because there isn't a lot of information available around this. But as more information is released, I will be issuing that on my channel, so please don't forget to subscribe right now. But that's it for today's video, guys. This was the 5 updates that I really wanted to share with you, and let me know if you are still considering UK or if you have found a better country for yourself. Take care. Bye.